They laughed at you, they mocked your dreams, they thought you were a joke. But here's the truth, every laugh is fuel, every insult is fire, and when the fire rises, the laughter dies. This is what happens next. They laughed at you. The sound of it was not the kind of laughter that warms a room or binds people together. It was the sharp, cutting kind, the kind that slices into your chest and lingers long after the echo fades. You remember it clearly, don't you? The way their eyes narrowed, the way their mouths curled into smirks, the way their voices rose in unison as if your failure, your dream, your attempt at something greater was nothing more than a punchline. They laughed because it was easy. They laughed because it cost them nothing. They laughed because in that moment they believed they were safe and you were not. But here's the truth they never understood. Laughter is not the end. Laughter is the beginning. Every laugh is fuel. Every insult is fire. And fire, when contained, becomes power. They thought they were breaking you, but they were forging you. They thought their laughter would bury you, but it planted the seed of your rise. Think about the history of laughter. Edison, mocked for his endless failures, told he was wasting his life chasing light. Oprah, fired from her first job, told she wasn't fit for television. Michael Jordan, cut from his high school team, told he wasn't good enough. They all heard the same sound you heard. The crowd laughing, the voices telling them they weren't enough. But history doesn't remember the laughter. History remembers the silence that followed when those same voices had nothing left to say. You know that sting. The way it burned in your chest, the way it made you question yourself, the way it made you wonder if maybe they were right. That's the cruelty of mockery. It doesn't just attack your actions, it attacks your identity. It makes you doubt not just what you did, but who you are. And yet, in that doubt, something else begins to grow. A spark, a whisper, a defiance that says, maybe they're wrong, maybe I'm not the fool, maybe I'm the one who sees what they cannot. Picture it. A crowd of shadows united in mockery, and then you, alone, standing against them. The crowd always feels powerful because it is many. But history's not written by the many. It is written by the one who refuses to bow. The Wright brothers were laughed at until their machine lifted from the ground. Tesla was ridiculed until his visions lit the world. Every empire, every revolution, every masterpiece began as a joke in someone else's mouth. The laughter fades eventually. It always does. And when it does, silence takes its place. That silence is not empty. It is filled with the weight of your persistence, your resilience, your refusal to break. They laughed at you, but laughter cannot stop what is inevitable. They laughed at you, but they will not laugh forever, because the day will come when the same mouths that mocked you will whisper your name with awe. You see, laughter is a mask. It hides fear. It hides insecurity. It hides the truth that deep down they know you are capable of something they are not. They laugh because they cannot imagine themselves doing what you are trying to do. They laugh because your courage exposes their cowardice. They laugh because your attempt, even if it fails, is more than their silence will ever achieve. And so you stand there, surrounded by their voices, and you feel the weight of their ridicule pressing down on you. But instead of breaking, you bend. Instead of collapsing, you absorb. Instead of retreating, you take every laugh, every insult, every sneer, and you store it deep inside. You turn it into fuel. You turn it into fire. And one day, when the time is right, That fire will burn so brightly that it will consume every shadow that ever tried to smother you. They laughed at you, but laughter is fragile. It cannot endure the weight of persistence. It cannot survive the storm of resilience. It cannot silence the roar of success. They laughed at you, but they will not laugh forever, because the day will come when the laughter dies, and in its place, there will be silence. And in that silence, your name will echo louder than their voices ever did. Remember this: every laugh is a confession. It is an admission that you have stepped into territory they cannot understand. It is proof that you are doing something that threatens their sense of safety, their sense of normalcy, their sense of control. They laugh because they cannot stop you. They laugh because they cannot follow you. They laugh because deep down, they know that one day they will be forced to watch as you rise above them. So let them laugh. Let them mock. Let them sneer. Because every sound they make is another log on the fire. Every insult is another spark. Every attempt to break you is another reason to keep going. They think they are writing your ending, but they are only writing your beginning. They think they are silencing you, but they are only amplifying your voice. They think they are burying you, but they are only planting the seed of your rise. And when that rise comes, when the fire they tried to extinguish becomes a blaze they cannot ignore, they will remember. They will remember the day they laughed. They will remember the sound of their own voices mocking you. And they will remember the silence that followed when you proved them wrong. They laughed at you, but laughter is not the end. Laughter is the beginning. And this is where the story begins. They laughed at you. They laughed because it was easy, because it cost them nothing, because in their laughter they felt safe. They thought their voices could drown out your will, that their mockery could shrink your vision until it fit inside the small box they built for themselves. But what they never understood is that laughter is fuel. Every insult, every sneer, every dismissive glance is a spark. And sparks, when gathered, become fire. You felt the sting of it, the way it burned in your chest, the way it made you question yourself, the way it echoed long after the sound had faded. That's the cruelty of mockery. It doesn't just attack what you do, it attacks who you are. But in that pain, something else began to grow. A defiance, a whisper that said, maybe they're wrong, maybe I'm not the fool, maybe I'm the one who sees what they cannot. Humiliation is a strange thing. It can break you or it can forge you. Most people run from it, hide from it, bury it deep, and hope it never surfaces again. But you learn to hold it, to let it burn, to let it carve scars into your soul that would one day become armor. That's the first rule. Turn humiliation into fire. Think of every great figure who was mocked at the start. Edison, failing hundreds of times, laughed at by those who couldn't imagine light coming from a filament. Oprah, told she wasn't fit for television, laughed out of her first job. Michael Jordan, cut from his high school team, laughed at as if his dream was too big for his body. They all heard the same sound you heard, and they all made the same choice: to take that laughter and turn it into fuel, because humiliation, when embraced, becomes energy. It becomes the reason you wake up earlier, the reason you stay up later, the reason you keep going when every bone in your body tells you to stop. Every time you remember their laughter, you remember why you cannot quit. Every time you hear their voices in your head, You push harder, faster, further. They thought they were breaking you. They thought their laughter was the end of your story, but it was only the beginning. Because while they laughed, you worked. While they mocked, you built. While they pointed and sneered, you sharpened yourself in silence. And silence is dangerous. Silence is where the fire grows. Picture it, a lone figure in the dark, mocked by the crowd, but refusing to move. The crowd feels powerful because it is many, but history is not written by the many. It is written by the one who refuses to bow. The Wright brothers, laughed at until their machine lifted from the ground. Tesla ridiculed until his visions lit the world. Every empire, every revolution, every masterpiece began as a joke in someone else's mouth. So let them laugh, let them mock, let them sneer, because every sound they make is another log on the fire. Every insult is another spark. Every attempt to break you is another reason to keep going. They think they are writing your ending, but they are only writing your beginning. They think they are silencing you, but they are only amplifying your voice. They think they are burying you, but they are only planting the seed of your rise. And when that rise comes, when the fire they try to extinguish becomes a blaze they cannot ignore, they will remember. They will remember the day they laughed. They will remember the sound of their own voices mocking you, and they will remember the silence that followed when you proved them wrong. They laughed at you. But laughter is not the end. Laughter is the beginning. And humiliation, when turned into fire, is the first step toward greatness. They laughed at you. They thought the sound of their voices could drown out your will, that their mockery could shrink your vision until it fit inside the small box they built for themselves. But while they laughed, you worked. While they mocked, you built. While they wasted their breath on ridicule, you were sharpening yourself in silence. That silence is dangerous. Silence is where the fire grows. Every night you carried their laughter with you, not as a wound, but as a weight. And with every repetition of that sound in your mind, you lifted it like a stone again and again until it became strength. They never saw the hours you spent alone, the sacrifices, the discipline, the relentless grind. They never saw the nights when exhaustion clawed at your bones, but you refused to stop. They never saw the mornings when you rose before the sun, fueled not by applause but by defiance. This is the paradox of ridicule. It blinds the mockers. They are so busy laughing that they never notice the transformation happening in the shadows. They never notice the figure they dismissed is becoming something else entirely. They never notice that every insult is being converted into fuel, every sneer into momentum, every doubt into determination. Think of the greats, Rowling, rejected by publishers who laughed at the idea of her story. Jobs, ousted from his own company, mocked as a failure. Ali, ridiculed for his mouth, told he would never last. They all endured the same chorus of laughter, and while the world mocked, they worked. While the world doubted, they built. And when the time came, the world was forced to watch. That is the second rule. Build in silence. Do not waste your energy on proving them wrong in words. Do not waste your fire on arguments. Let them laugh. Let them doubt. Let them sneer. Your answer is not in explanations. Your answer is in the work. Your answer is in the hours they will never see, the sacrifices they will never understand, the discipline they will never match. Picture it. A lone figure training in the dark, sweat dripping, muscles burning, lungs screaming. Outside, the world sleeps. Outside, the world laughs. But inside, in the silence, something unstoppable is being forged. That is you. That is what they cannot see. That is what they will never understand until it is too late. And when the day comes, when the silence breaks, when the work you've done in the shadows erupts into the light, their laughter will die in their throats. They will remember the sound of their own voices mocking you. They will remember the certainty with which they dismissed you, and they will remember the silence that followed when you proved them wrong. They laughed at you, but while they laughed, you worked. While they mocked, you built. And now the silence is ending. Now the reckoning begins. They laughed at you. They thought the sound of their voices would echo forever, that their mockery would be the final word. But silence has a way of creeping in, and silence is louder than laughter when it follows triumph. You worked in the shadows, you built in the quiet, and now the reckoning begins. The day comes when the doors open, when the world finally sees what you have been forging in secret. The same people who once smirked and whispered now find themselves staring, unable to look away. Their laughter dies in their throats, replaced by the weight of realization. They mocked what they could not understand, and now they are forced to witness what they cannot deny. This is the moment when the mocked becomes the master. The one they dismissed as a fool now stands as proof that persistence is stronger than ridicule. The one they tried to bury now towers above them, unshaken, unbroken, unstoppable. Their laughter was meant to destroy you, but it only sharpened you. Their ridicule was meant to silence you, but it only gave you a voice that cannot be ignored. Think of the greats who reached this reckoning. Jobs, returning to Apple after being cast out, unveiling creations that reshaped the world. Ali, once mocked, standing in the ring as the undisputed champion. Rowling, whose manuscript was rejected again and again, watching her story become a global phenomenon. Each of them endured the same chorus of laughter, and each of them answered not with words, but with results. That is the third rule. Let success speak. Do not waste your breath on explanations. Do not waste your energy on arguments. Let your work, your rise, your transformation be the only answer. Because when success arrives, it silences every voice that once mocked you. Picture it. The stadium roaring, the book flying off shelves, the company reborn, the crowd that once laughed now standing in awe. The silence after laughter is heavy, almost unbearable, because it carries the weight of regret. They regret doubting you. They regret mocking you. They regret underestimating you. And you, standing tall, unshaken, need not say a word. They laughed at you, but laughter is fragile. It cannot endure the weight of persistence. It cannot survive the storm of resilience. It cannot silence the roar of success. They laughed at you, but they will not laugh forever. Because the day has come when the laughter dies, and in its place, there's only silence. And in that silence, your name echoes louder than their voices ever did. They laughed at you. They thought their laughter would echo forever, that the sound of their voices would be the final word in your story. But laughter is fragile. It is loud in the moment, but it cannot endure. It fades, it cracks, it dies. And when it dies, silence takes its place. That silence is heavier than any insult, heavier than any sneer, heavier than any mockery, because silence is not empty. Silence is filled with the weight of realization, the weight of regret, the weight of truth. You remember the beginning, you remember the sting of their laughter, the way it cut into you, the way it made you question yourself. You remember the nights when you lay awake, replaying their voices in your head, wondering if maybe they were right. But you also remember the spark that grew inside you, the fire that their laughter ignited, the determination that their mockery forged. You remember the silence you chose, the work you did in the shadows, the sacrifices you made when no one was watching. And now, standing here, you remember the moment when the silence broke, when your success roared louder than their laughter ever could. Look at them now. The same mouths that once mocked you are closed. The same voices that once ridiculed you are silent. The same eyes that once looked down on you now look up in awe. They cannot laugh anymore because laughter cannot survive in the presence of undeniable truth. And the truth is this: you rose, you endured, you became unstoppable. This is the silence after laughter. It is not the silence of emptiness. It is the silence of respect. It is the silence of awe. It is the silence of those who once doubted you, now forced to confront the reality of your triumph. They cannot laugh because laughter would betray their regret. They cannot speak because words would expose their shame. All they can do is watch. Watch as you stand tall. Watch as you claim the victory they said you would never have. Watch as you become everything they said you could not be. Think of the greats who reached this silence. Edison, once mocked, now remembered as the man who lit the world. Oprah, once dismissed, now a global icon. Jordan, once cut, now a legend. Jobs, once ousted, now immortalized. Rowling, once rejected, now beloved by millions. Each of them endured the laughter. Each of them turned humiliation into fire. Each of them built in silence. Each of them let success speak, and each of them reached this moment, the silence after laughter. This silence is not just theirs, it is yours. It is the silence you earned through every sleepless night, every sacrifice, every moment of doubt you refused to surrender to. It is the silence you earned by refusing to break, by refusing to bow, by refusing to let their laughter define you. It is the silence you earned by rising, by enduring, by becoming unstoppable. And now, in this silence, you understand something you could not have understood before. You understand that their laughter was never about you. It was about them. It was about their fear, their insecurity, their inability to imagine themselves doing what you dared to do. Their laughter was a mask, a shield, a desperate attempt to hide from the truth. And the truth is this: you were never the fool. You were never the joke. You were always the one who saw what they could not. You were always the one who dared to step beyond the line of the ordinary. You were always the one destined to rise. So let the silence stand. Do not fill it with words. Do not waste it on explanations. Do not squander it on arguments. Let the silence speak for you. Let your success be the only answer. Let your triumph be the only response. Because in the end, words are cheap, but results are undeniable. And your results are here. Undeniable, unshakable, unstoppable. They laughed at you, but laughter is not the end. end. Laughter is the beginning. And now, in the silence after laughter, you stand as proof that mockery cannot break you, that ridicule cannot stop you, that doubt cannot define you. You stand as proof that every laugh, every insult, every sneer was fuel. You stand as proof that humiliation, when turned into fire, becomes power. You stand as proof that silence, when filled with work, becomes strength. You stand as proof that success, when it arrives, silences every voice that once mocked you. This is the silence after laughter. It is the silence of victory. It is the silence of triumph. It is the silence of a story rewritten, a destiny reclaimed, a life transformed. It is the silence that follows when the mocked becomes the master, when the fool becomes the legend, when the dreamer becomes the conqueror. They laughed at you, but they are not laughing now. They cannot laugh now, because laughter cannot survive in the presence of greatness. And you are greatness. You are the fire they tried to extinguish. You are the storm they tried to silence. You are the rise they tried to stop. And now, standing here in the silence after laughter, you are unstoppable. So remember this moment. Remember the sound of their laughter. Remember the sting of their mockery. Remember the fire it ignited, the silence it demanded, the success it created. Remember it, not with bitterness, but with gratitude, because without their laughter you would not have risen. Without their mockery you would not have endured. Without their doubt, you would not have become unstoppable.